where we struggle is staffing in the kitchen, with retention of high quality staff to be able to do things from scratch. And so we end up not being able to do as much from scratch as we would like, because of that kitchen staffing issue in particular. It's always been a revolving door in this industry, unfortunately. And I mean, we tried to get out ahead of that as best we can with, offering very competitive pay as well as full-time benefits for anybody over 30 hours. So, we're above average in the industry in pay and benefits, and we still can't retain the quality of individuals that we need in the back of house. Not as bad on the front of house, to be honest. And I'm just curious, how do you guys retain high quality staff to be able to be a scratch kitchen? Because we cannot.
Well, number one, that's also another $1 million question. So the way we do things, first of all, myself I'm the executive chef for the brand. I developed both of my sous chefs. So I have a chef de cuisine and a sous chef. So they're all trained to do all the above. Okay, so they're there. What I do is I divide and conquer. I would have one of the chefs focusing on the line, and that's his team, so to speak. And the other chef that would open focuses on production. So they have that support and that leadership figure next to each other, just like Braveheart, with Mel Gibson leading the charge. That's kind of the idea. Team member love that. They love to have a leader side by side because that shows that they care. That show that they're all in together. Other than that, obviously you have to balance the workload on an individual. You have to be realistic on, what does that look like? My solution is I would have a salary chef given a little hour or two push if I need to during the holidays, because sometimes you just can't hire one or two players just for a month, and then you don't have the hours to sustain that. So you're going to have to flex that. You get a little overtime here and there, but financially it's a lot cheaper, and the team would enjoy that. And then on the other end, you kind of have to, the team that you have in place, you have to analyze their skill set. For me, the grand majority of my line cooks, they're from fast food environment flipping burgers. So if I put anything a little fancier, they only do one step. So I control what they assemble. The more skillful individual will probably be the prep cook that did all the things. So you have to use, you have to do the production side to keep a consistency in quality and the knowledge piece. So you only have to retain one or two, a few higher level cooks. And then you can have, I would say, the rookies more on the line. It's kind of a reverse. Back in the day when we started in the kitchen, is dish prep line. Now it's becoming a reverse because it's easier to find line cooks and it's hard to find prep cooks that are able to do a long prep list. And then what I get to do is there's very limited amount of line prep, so they get to help the prep cook that way. So I'm having everybody to have a community prep together. I have a big board with what we need to prep as a team today. Everybody does what's immediate to their station, and when they're done, they're supposed to jump in and help the others until we're all done. So I also promote, collaboration, team play all the way, all the time. But the other magic thing that I do for my team, because I get to get more things done with less people, I guarantee their hours. If I'm slow, I still get them 40 hours a week. I find something to do for them, and that's the guarantee. I don't always look at the labor on an hourly basis or on the, daily basis. I look at it more on the weekly basis labor, because I do probably 50 to 60% of my business on Saturday. So I'll crush labor and I'll be heavier on the, early on. But on the production side, you want to make sure you bulk up on prep before you go on your heavy day. Otherwise, there's no way you're going to make it. So it's kind of, you have to balance that. So I do a blend of all the above. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So you have to be the master puppeteer in a way, but you have to analyze every single step of the way So that's what I do. So I guarantee my hours to my team, no matter what. When it's busy, they get a little OT, get a little chef power. But I'll be honest, many places I've worked in or know of, there's a lack of involvement from the leadership, and that's the newer trend. You can't be a guy walking around with a clipboard anymore. It does not work in smaller teams. So that's kind of the way we've been doing it. And I'm not using my managers, I mean chefs, as labor saver by no mean. They're just doing team play things, very simple thing, at the same time as they're checking prep quality, and managing the kitchen at the same time. So